If you're over 50 and looking for some exercises you can do from a chair to help you build strength all over your body, then this video is perfect for you. If you don't know who I am, my name is Harlow and I'm the Over-Fifties specialist physio here at HT Physio in Farnham. And my goal with these videos is to make them more valuable than any paid treatment you've had in the past. Now, I'm making this video because someone in my audience reached out to me and said, Will, I love the videos that you make about different exercises, but I can't do exercises when standing and I can't do them when lying down because I have an issue that makes it too painful to do it in these positions. Can you suggest some alternatives? And I asked this person, well, can you sit? And they said yes. So I'm making this video to help anyone who can sit without pain to still get benefits from exercise without having to be up on their feet or lying on their back. So I'm going to show you 7 of my favorite exercises to strengthen the body that you can do from a chair. Hopefully these exercises will target all of the muscles in your body so they cover all bases. The only thing I've got to say before I show you them is they are probably not suitable for everyone, so make sure you get checked out by a doctor before you try them, and definitely don't do any of the exercises if they cause you more pain. Anyway, now that that's been said, let's have a look at my 7 exercises that you can do from a chair to build strength all over the body. So here are my 7 favorite chair exercises for building strength all over the body. And you can see here I've got a couple of little props that are going to help me to do this routine, which you might find worthwhile getting at home. So we've got 3 things that we're going to use. The first thing is a nice heavy weight. So I'm going to use this heavy doorstop, but equally you could use a bag filled with books, something with a bit of weight. This here has probably got 2 or 3 kilos to it. So something of about that kind of weight would be good. The second thing I've got is a resistance band, which is tied in a loop. And we'll use that in a moment. And then the third thing I've got are 2 bottles of water. You can equally use tins of beans or tins of soup or something like that. But basically something that's got about 500 grams of weight. And that's all we need to make this routine work. So the first exercise we're going to do, and we're going to start with the legs and then move up, is hip flexor strengthening. So to do this exercise, we need to sit comfortably in a chair. You can have your arms resting on the armrest, and we want to sit up as straight as possible. Now, the goal of this exercise, I'm going to show you it now, is to lift one knee without moving your spine at all. And you're going to hold for a couple of seconds and then relax it back down. Now, this looks really easy, but because we're in what we call inner range of the hip, it's actually quite a difficult exercise. And you can feel that muscle working quite quickly. Your hip flexors are an important muscle group for walking. And basically we need them to initiate that swing of the leg when we walk. And this is a really good exercise to start to build some strength in the legs if you can't get up onto your feet. So with this exercise, I'd recommend doing probably 15 or 20 total. So about 10 on each leg would be good. And you're going to keep doing it basically until you get a little bit of a working ache in your hip here. So that's your first one. It's a great exercise for hip strength. Now, the second chair exercise I'm going to give you is knee extensions. So again, we're going to sit back in the chair. You can have your back supported in the chair and your hands on the armrest. And you're just going to extend one knee and pull your toes up towards you and really contract this muscle here. Now, we don't want to have our body weight forward because otherwise we get a big stretch in the sciatic nerve. So it's actually good to have your back against the seat. And you can see here on this muscle, we're really contracting it and getting it to work. When you pull your toes up towards you, if you can tolerate the stretch, it does actually engage the quad a little bit better. So this is a great exercise for your thigh muscles called the quadriceps. And these muscles are important for keeping your knee straight when you walk. Now, for many people, this is going to be really, really easy. And for those people, you can get hold of an ankle weight, which could be like a Velcro fastened weight, which goes around your ankle, and then extend your knee with the weight on. That would make this harder. But I would suggest most people, most seniors, start just by doing this. And even though you're not moving against resistance, if you really focus your mind on contracting that muscle, you'll improve your mind-muscle connection, and that will make you stronger as a result. So that's the second strengthening exercise. The third is the seated calf raise, and this is a great exercise for these muscles down here, our calf muscles. And what you're going to do is you're going to start with your feet flat on the floor like this, and you're just going to lean forward onto your thighs. All we're going to do then is we're just going to use our toes to push and lift our heels up off the floor. Now, if we're leaning forward, what we'll find is we're pushing some of our body weight as well, which makes the exercise harder. Basically, you just do repetitions of this, similar to the other ones, probably 10 or 15 in a row, until we get a working ache down here in the calf. And this is a really important exercise for people who like to walk, because you use your calf muscles to propel you forward whenever you're walking. So if they're not strong, you're not going to be able to walk as far or as fast as you would like. So this is another really good exercise for people who can't get up and move around. It's a great way to start if you've got weak calves and you can't do a heel raise standing up, and it will help you build strength in those very important calf muscles. Now we're going to move back up the body to the hips again, and we're going to work on our glutes, which are the muscles at the back of the hip. And for this exercise, we're going to need to use our band. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a nice tough resistance band, and you're going to slip it around both legs and bring it up so it's above the knee on both sides. Now you want to take your feet apart whilst keeping your knees relaxed. So we should have a slight angulation like this. And all we're going to do now, keeping our back against the backrest, is push our legs out into the band and hold. And then you're going to relax your knees inwards, and then you're going to push out again, really focusing on using these muscles at the back of the hip to allow that movement to happen. So out and hold and back in. And with this one, depending on the strength of your band, you might be able to do more than 15 or 20. Don't worry about how many you do. You just want to take it until you get a working ache in the muscles at the back of the hip. This is a really good exercise for isolating those outer hip muscles, the ones we don't use that often. And it makes them stronger, which means that you'll walk and you'll get up and out of a chair a lot easier than before. So if you repeat 10, 15, 20 of those in a row, keep going until you get that working ache, and do that a few times a day. That's a great next exercise that you can do from a chair. So now we're going to move up the body again, and this time we're going to focus on the back and on the core. And for this exercise, we need to use our heavy weight. So what you're going to do with this exercise is you're going to hold your heavy weight so it's short enough that it's not going to touch the floor like this, and you're going to hold it just in one hand with the other hand hanging down. And the exercise is simple. You're going to keep your shoulders in line with your hips, and you're just going to dip down to one side and then come back up. So we call this a weighted side bend, and you don't need to go very far before you start to feel your tummy muscles and your back muscles having to contract to do this movement. You'll feel one side of the spine having to work quite hard to do this because you've only got the weight in one hand. So when you're doing it with the weight in your left hand, it's your right that's working. And once you've done enough to feel a bit of a pull on one side, you switch over and you take the weight in this hand. We're only doing these exercises, by the way, if they're pain-free, so we don't want these exercises to hurt. Again, you're going to go down to the side and back up. So it's like a pure side bend, down to the side and back up. And this is a really good strengthening exercise for the core, for people who can't lie down. So I know that's a bugbear for a lot of people. They want to strengthen their core, but they don't find it comfortable lying on their back. Certainly they can't do sit-ups. So what do? Well, this is a really good exercise to compensate for that. So you need something quite heavy because most people are quite strong in these muscles already. But give it a try with something light to begin with, and then you can slowly build up as you get stronger. You only want to go to the edge of a working ache, not right into pain, and that should build stronger core and stronger back muscles as a result. So now we're going to move even further up the body, and this time we're going to strengthen our shoulder muscles. And for this, we need those tiny little weights that we had before. So I'm going to use 2 bottles. You could use tins of baked beans. And this is an exercise which is great for strength around the shoulders and the arms. So you're going to sit with your cans or your bottles hanging by your sides. You're going to keep your back up nice and tall with your chest out. All you're going to do, keeping your neck relaxed, is you're just going to lift them out to the sides like this, and then very slowly down. So the tempo with this exercise looks something like this. So it's 2 seconds up and then about 4 seconds down. So we're doing it as slowly as we possibly can. Now it's amazing how little weight you need to use before you can feel this in your shoulders. And the area we want to feel it is on the outside of the shoulders. So we're working the muscles called the deltoids, and these are very important for lifting and shifting things, but we're also working our rotator cuff muscles, which live very deep inside the shoulder. You can't really see the rotator cuff muscles, but they're working hard to keep the arm inside its socket. And this is a great strengthening exercise for your shoulders and your arms. So if you do this exercise to the point of fatigue on the outside of both shoulders, that would be a great place to start. If you feel it more in your neck, chances are you're shrugging up like this, which is the wrong way to do it. So it means your technique is off. So decrease the weight, maybe just doing it with no weight at all if you feel that you're quite weak. And you want to keep that neck relaxed all the way throughout. It should be the shoulders doing the work, not the neck. Okay, so do that exercise for somewhere between 10 and 15 in a row. Try and do that a few times a day, then that will start to build strength in your shoulders. And then the final exercise I've got for you in this routine is another one to build up your arms and your shoulders. It's a real compound movement, which I love to get people doing from a chair. So I call this the curl and press. So what you're going to do, again with your small weights, you have them by your sides. The first movement is you bring them up like this. The second movement is you take them to there. And then the third is up over the head and back down. So it's like that. Ready? So up like this, round to there, and then up, and then down, round, and down. So it's a 3-stage movement. We've got stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3, and then back down 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so this is a great exercise for your biceps, as you see the bicep working there. It's a great exercise for your shoulders because they have to rotate to here. And then this works your shoulders and your triceps, which are the muscles on the back of the arm. So it's a great exercise for toned arms, especially for people who can't get up out of a chair. Now, the important things to remember with this exercise are don't put strain on your lower back. So if you find yourself going like that, that's wrong. If you find that your back hurts when you do this, you're using something too heavy. And if you've adjusted the weight and you still can't feel it in the right areas or it still feels too difficult, you can try it with one hand at a time. So you can have one hand supporting you and the other one curls up, twists out and goes up and back down. Now, the nice thing about doing one at a time is you actually get a little bit more work in the core because your core has to stabilize you because you're using all of your strength on one side and not on the other. So if you're just going to do it in one arm, you will actually get a little bit of additional benefit to the core. So those are the 7 exercises. I hope they've been useful. Have a go at them at home. Just do the ones that feel pain-free and comfortable, and that should build some strength all over your body. So those are 7 great exercises that you can do from a chair to build overall strength. I hope that video has been useful. If it has, please like the video, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below because I love to read your thoughts. And if you want to get more from me, please do feel free to pick up a copy of my book. It's called Thriving Beyond 50 and you can find it on Amazon using the link below this video. Anyway, thank you for watching. I appreciate your time and I look forward to speaking to you on the next video.